Okay guys, we're back. Okay, I think we've all seen these little cheap reindeer that you buy that's just a wire. And they got the little motor that makes the head turn back and forth. Well, I've had a couple of these laying around for a few years. You hardly ever use them because they're such a pain in the butt to put together. And really, I don't think they're that all great. But anyways, I have an idea for this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to take just these cheap aluminum, what are these?
Aluminum lids for roasting pans.
These aluminum lids for roasting pans from the Dollar Tree. And what I'm thinking is cutting this up, and what I want to do is I want to go like 2 inches on the bottom of the feet down here and give him feet out of that aluminum tray. And then I want to give him a face on the front of his head right here, and do his horns and make him look more three-dimensional, and do his tail in the aluminum. Then I want to come back with Christmas bulbs. And I'm thinking of a neat way to fill this reindeer in with all the neat bulbs. And then we'll have the horns and everything done out of the aluminum like I just showed you. And then we'll end up making some collar for him. And then just get some bells from Family Dollar hooked to the collar so he actually has a collar around his neck. So I might even get creative enough because there's next to plug here. If I can find a single little bulb now, I might give him a red nose and make him Rudolph. So this is where we're at. This is what we're going to try to do. My wife's going to work on the legs, filling in the legs, and I'm going to see how well this goes with the aluminum, and see if I can start figuring out how to do the feet and the front of the face and the horns. And when I get an idea how I'm going to kind of do this a little bit, we'll be back and kind of show you a little bit of the process. Okay guys, so here's where I'm at so far with this here. Okay, you look, let's scoot him up a little bit for a minute. Okay, you notice it has that little metal tail on the back. So I took that little cheap aluminum cookie sheets from Family Dollar and made him a tail, okay? And then on the bottom I did the same thing and give him some feet, okay? And then I wasn't real happy with the front, so I gave him a little metal nose right here, okay, out of the cookie sheet, and the ears right here. And then I took aluminum foil, and I'm actually making the ears, the horns, look like horns. And these little metal horns on here, you can bend them to whatever shape you want. Okay? So I took just some aluminum foil. Let's kind of show you what I was doing. So I just taken the foil and just wrapping it around. See, and then just kind of getting the shape that I wanted my deer to have. Because he wants just plain little wires for antlers. Okay, so that's what I've done so far. I'm just going to finish off this ear. get it exactly how I want it. And then we'll go from there. I might, on this one, after I get everything else done, I might take your like silver garland when I'm done and actually put it around the antlers tight so you know they look like it's all pretty garland down. But I want to leave the ears and nose like I got, you know, in the tail. And then when we get this together, I don't know where I sat it, but I got it. Oh, hold on one second. So after we get this together, okay, and we got it all filled in pretty with the bulbs and how that, and we get his little collar and stuff on. Well, you gotta have a bell, right? So on the front, I'm gonna paint a bell right there. It's gonna be kind of hooked to his collar around his neck. So that's where I'm at. I said I'm gonna finish the aluminum foil, get the antlers and stuff done, and then I think I'm gonna start figuring out how I'm gonna fill the body in. And when I get that far and start figuring out how I'm gonna fill it in, I'll show you. Okay, guys. I showed you how we did the ears and the feet and the tail and all that fun stuff. And this one was kind of falling apart, so I'm just taking zip ties and just putting a couple zip ties on the body to keep the body together. And while I'm doing that, my wife's just taking masking tape and she's just taping off all the little lights. Because on ours we decided to spray the deer gold. But we don't want to take all the lights off and try to put them all back on, so we're just taping off the individual bulbs. Then we'll spray the deer, and then we'll come back and take the tape off. Then we'll start figuring out how we're going to put our Christmas bulbs on this and around it and however we end up doing it. So when we get this part done and sprayed, we'll show you, and then we'll start trying to fill the legs and figure out how we're going to put the bulbs on this to make it look right and pretty. Okay guys, so here we are with ours. See the tail that we made, the feet. And here's the head. It's one of those that has the movable head. Just one of those that's got that simple little motor right there that makes the head move. I know you can't tell the best right now because it's a little bit darker, but we sprayed the whole thing gold. And the funnest part about this was taping off all those little lights. And after you paint it, try and get all that tape off all those little lights. But we got it, so we're getting down to the fun part now. See, we got the bulbs right there. And we're going to start filling this reindeer in and make it the prettiest little reindeer you ever seen. Okay, so we get some of this filled in, we'll get parts of it, and then we'll show you so you can kind of see what it looks like.
Hey everyone, I gotta show you where we're at right now. So, check this out. Okay? So, like my husband was telling you, we spray painted the whole thing, this metallic gold by Rust-Oleum. We wrapped the antlers in tin foil. We used the cookie sheets, okay, from the Dollar Tree, okay, for the nose and the ears and the feet, okay. Now, what we're doing right now is we are gluing the bulbs in with hot glue. We're just placing the bulbs in, and these bulbs we just got from a thrift store. You might have old bulbs laying around. You can just fill it in with. We've had these deer for quite a while, like my husband was saying. We used a piece also of this cookie sheet, and we painted it for kind of to keep the bulbs away from the motor and also for a base for the ornaments, kind of to sit against. What we're going to do right now, we're going to continue filling the bulbs in, but these deer have a empty hole, just showing you, right here in their belly. So you need something for those bulbs to lay down on. So we're going to, we cut out another cookie sheet to make it fit in between here and up in here to lay the bulbs in. But before I do that, we're going to spray paint it, the Rust-Oleum paint also, the metallic gold. So, this is where we're at right now. When we get this filled in and the belly of the deer in, because he needs a belly, he won't be able to eat, then we'll come back and we'll show you what we're going to be doing next. So we'll see you guys in a sec.
Okay. We're on to the next part of the deer. And we figured that the deer needs to have range, right? You know, so Santa can control the deer. So, I found these little balls in these little bags from Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, I can't remember which one. And they're real lightweight. I'm trying to keep everything lightweight for the deer so that the head can stay moving. So, I found this burlap material. It's burlap ribbon, and I just cut it down to the size that I wanted. Folded it up, and I'm putting these little guys on there to give it character. Okay, so I'll just have them going all the way down. Okay, so I'm just kind of working on that for a second. So what I figure we'll do is I'm going to put these on here and kind of show you what I got going. And I'm trying not to make it too gaudy because the reindeer itself's already got a lot of color. So I want it just to have just some pretty finishing touches. These little guys that go all over the table. Okay, so we put those on there, and what I'm thinking is taking these little bells from Dollar Tree too. Well, I'm going to make them into bells. They're a little bulb, but I want to put them on here, something like this. So it looks like it's the bells that go around the leash, you know, leashes that go up to Santa Claus. So I'm going to figure out how to glue these on. And then I got the saddle, made like a little material saddle. And I'm going to get it out in a minute and we'll figure out how we're going to kind of give it a little more finishing touches. Then I think our deer will be complete, and then I'll show you the final product, and then I'll kind of just walk back through real fast so I don't bore you guys of how we did it one more time, just so you guys can remember, okay?
Okay, so we are to the part where we get to finish the little saddle. Okay, so I got some lace, pretty lace from the Dollar Tree, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lace and I'm going to go around the edge of it with the lace, just to give it a little finished off look. because otherwise, you know, this will fray. And this, by the way, I don't know if I said, it was a placemat that came from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if you can see the snowflakes on it or not, but it was just a placemat from the Dollar Tree, and I just cut both of them. I unpicked the bottom part from the top part. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted it to be as light a material as possible. So that's why I did that part. And now we're get to embellish the little saddle we made out of it. And I just cut this out, folded it in half, like so. And I just cut out my own little design and then unfolded it. Okay, now I'm going to put the lace on. And I'm thinking I might use some of these little vase fillers from the Dollar Tree, these little red ruby gem looking things. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use a Chanel stem or not. I'm just not 100% sure. So what I'm going to do is start to glue this down. Once I get this around it and in place and see where, and place these little red ruby vase filler things, then I'll decide if I'm going to put this, if we're going to have one of these believe signs on it painted up, or joy, or we'll decide from there. I'm just not quite sure. So when I get done and I figure it out, but I'll come back and show you. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Okay, everyone. So I forgot to turn on my microphone. So here I'm just going to show you how I made the little saddle. So I ended up sewing the lace, or not sewing it, hot gluing the lace around the outer edges, and I added the little gems and some Chanel stamps on the front, also on the back, so that the saddle would lay, you know, kind of hang how it normally would if it were a real saddle. And I'm just showing you here kind of how I did that. And then I'm just going to show you here how the bell that we put out of the reindeer's mouth, it had these little trees on it and that, and I just didn't really think it didn't quite go with our project, although I am going to save those. Right here I have a poinsettia that I'm going to use instead. I had like a garland with poinsettias on it, so I decided to pull one of those off, and I'm just going to hot glue that to the top of the bell. And I also am going to use this little vase filler here that I have in my hand, and I'm going to hot glue that right in the center, just to give it a little bit more of a, I don't know, more of an expensive, I guess, exquisite look. Not that it wouldn't be cute with the other one, it would. It's just the way that ours was. I just figured it would look better this way, and I'm really glad I did that. So here, that's what I'm showing you here. I just I'm fixing the leaves, how kind of adjusting it how I want, and I'm just going to give it a good squirt of glue and place my poinsettia right there, right in the center, and I'm just holding it there so it sets up really well. And then I'm going to give it a little more glue here. You know, you never have enough glue, I guess. Especially when you're trying to stick something that small onto a bigger project thing. And here I'm just putting the little vase filler right in the center. There is gold in the poinsettia. I could have left that, but I just thought it looked so much better with the little vase filler right in the center. And that is about all I done. Right here I was almost going to use these little trees that came with the bell, but I decided not to in the end. And right here I didn't show you this, but the hanger to the bell, I ended up pulling that off, it unclicks, and putting a Chanel stem. So that's about it. And that's where we're at.
Okay, guys. So here's the finale. So remember, it's just one of those cheap little deers that you find at thrift stores or yard sales because nobody knows what to do with them. and we sprayed ours gold. And we put the cheap cookie sheets to make the feet and the tip of the nose and the tail. And then we took aluminum foil and put on the antlers to make the antlers actually look like antlers. Okay? And remember, then we took the cookie sheet and did the belly pan underneath right here, so you guys could have a place to put your bulbs. Okay? And then on ours, we decided to go ahead and put a bell on there, which you get from wherever,
The Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree or a thrift
That's
store. You might already have
wherever.
some laying around. And we wanted ours to have a little bit fancier, prettier look. That's why we sprayed it gold. And that's why we did the really pretty little the reins on it and the
Saddle.
saddle that's made out of the. What'd you make that out of, love?
I told him I made it out of the placemat
The
from the Dollar
placemat.
Tree. Yeah.
And it had some little jewels and stuff. So most of this
Definitely.
stuff I think everybody probably already has laying around, like a whole bunch of extra bulbs. Heck, a lot of you might already even have one of these cheap little reindeer already around. So you guys probably got the reindeer laying around already. Or no neighbor that'll give you one that just doesn't want it. Most people's got extra bulbs or a little material to make your saddle however you want. It was just a few hours and just some fun. This actually was fun to put together.
Yes, and it was definitely worth, you guys, it was definitely worth taping off each bulb and spraying the frame. Really, it really made a big difference. It made the bulbs, I think, blend with the
Yes,
with
it
the
just
deer.
it just made a cheap deer look expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you put the bulbs in, they really stand out against the gold.
Yeah, it did.
So we have some other projects in mind, and we're gonna make some more and show you guys. Hopefully you like the projects we build, and hopefully you want to join our channel. Trying to think if there was anything that I missed.
Oh, the bell, on the bell, I forgot to tell you guys. On the bell itself, I showed you that I was redoing the front of it, but the Chanel stem, this piece right here, I put that in, that other piece just pops right off, and you can just rethread that so that it'll hang right. That's the one thing I wanted to let you guys know.
So, everybody out there, hope you like our builds. I hope you want to join our channel because you like our builds. And until next time.